Get started with our committee workshop. You want to stand and word of prayer and say the pledge. Our most gracious, loving Heavenly Father, dear Lord, we just want to thank you for this day and thank you for the opportunity to come here and try to make decisions that are good decisions for the parish and the citizens, dear Lord. We just want to thank you for all your blessings that you've given us and given to this parish, dear Lord. And we just ask that you be with us through this meeting. We ask all these things in your name. Amen. Amen. Follow me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda as far as the workshop agenda? All right. Any guest or public comments? All right, our first item, number one, discuss the proposed precinct mergers. So we'll turn this over to our
panel.
clerk and registrar and.
Okay, so this is something that came up every year when we do canvass at the registrar's office. After the completion of canvass, the state requires us to do a survey of all of the precincts that have fewer than 300 registered voters in them. And in order for the state to cost share with the parish or any other entity that's has things on the ballots in those smaller precincts, there has to be a justifiable reason to have that small of a precinct open, whether they're geographically isolated, you can't move them to another polling location because it makes them go too far, or it's a single municipal precinct. There's various reasons. And so in my review, this is something we do every year, is reviewing them, and I've never had the, I guess, forethought to go through and just review all of our precincts. But I was aware that, you know, we had a fair amount for how small our parish is, the smaller number of voters that we have, registered voters. So I got started looking at them, and there's only certain districts that can be split within precincts, like your congressional, senate, and all that. You can only have one per precinct. But like school board and police jury, you can have more than one school board, more than one police jury per voting precinct. In city limits, out of city limits, things like that. So you have to go through and compare all of those districts amongst all of the adjacent precincts around each individual precinct to see what legally can be combined and what can't be combined. And you can't have more than 2,200 voters per precinct. We try to stay under 2,000. That way you don't overdo it and wind up having to split it later anyways. So in the midst of reviewing all of that, basically what my goal was in trying to, number one, save the parish money, but also equally as important was to not move voters around. And if we did find a place to move voters, it would be to a place that was more convenient for them or closer for them to travel. And we've done that. The proposition I've made here, I went through and reviewed all 50, I guess we had 52 after the stuff that we did a couple months ago. But our last election, we have 57 precincts. And so I took my recommendations and got with Lisa, and she and I reviewed what I had come up with, and then we got with Mike, Mr. Hefner, and what you see before you is our final version we've come up with. We've made a few changes since y'all got your packets last week. We saw some other changes we could make that gets us down to our last election precinct count, like I said, was 57, and what we're proposing would get us down to 26 precincts. And we had 27 polling locations from the last election. This would get us down to 18 polling locations. And I identified in each item the number of voters that would move if they are moving, and then whether they're changing polling locations or not, and how many are going where and all of that good stuff. So I will turn it over to them, or if y'all have any questions.
Good
Good evening, everybody. Lisa Burson, the clerk. So one of the things when I wanted to explain to y'all whenever I was getting with Amanda and Mr. Hefner were that we are dealing with very old machines. I mean, we all know it. Y'all typically, if you do go vote on election day, we're dealing with old machines, these legacy machines, and they don't make the parts for them anymore. So what we're having to do is we're robbing parts when one goes down from an old machine, and then we're just kind of mixing and matching machines. And so my goal was to reduce the number of polling locations and precincts so that we could get our number of machines needed down. That reduces the amount of books that we have to have, that the registrar's office has to come up with. So when somebody walks into a location and they go, well, I don't know where my precinct is, and they're going to this table and that table and another table for multiple precincts, like Long Street, for instance, had, you know, in the town limits of Long Street and then outside of the town limits in precinct 11. And so this will cut down on the number of machines needed, because for each precinct, if there's under 300, the requirement is a minimum of one machine. But because of how old the machines are, we actually, as a practice, we use two. So that's more room, more space that we are, you know, cramming into the village of Long Street. And so then, you know, other things that I look at when Ms. Amanda and I talked were the amount of commissioners that I have to have. So the minimum that we get is 2 per precinct. So for some of the smaller precincts where there's 7 voters, you can have 2 people, but you don't really need 2 people. Once you get over, and I can't remember the exact number, but once you get over, you know, 1,000 people, whatever it is, you can have 3 in a federal election, plus your commissioners in charge. So we're spending more money for commissioners in charge, more money for commissioners that aren't necessary when what we're staring down the barrel of come the spring are closed primaries. Every single voter is going to have a lockout, whether you are voting as a no party person, whether you are voting under the Democratic ticket, or if you are voting under the Republican ticket. So every single voter, so any goal to cut down on lockouts and things like that, it's moot, because we're having it, whether we want it or not. So those are the things that when Amanda and I talked, that was what I had in mind and my goal. So under the proposal that we have, our last election, we had 117 machines that we had to have. And their machines do go down on election day, and the warehouse people come and either try to fix them or they close the machine for the night and the day, and we're left with 1 machine. So what this proposal would do would get us down to requiring 64 machines. It would save us, you know, on custodians, commissioners in charge and commissioners. In March, we submitted $38,100 to the Secretary of State for payroll. The maximum under the proposal that we have is about $23,100 that we would submit. So it saves a pretty good bit of money, at least the funds that I can allocate and account for. The other thing that I took into consideration was, again, we are dealing with the potential for closed primaries, and every single voter who walks in, if they are a no-party voter, I think we have 4,500 in DeSoto Parish.
We've got a good chunk.
Approximately 4,500 are going to have to make a designation and fill out a form. And so that's going to require some of my staff. I will probably have to pick up an employee or two. With us having 27 polling locations, I don't remember exactly how many we got it down to the last time. I think we were at maybe 24 polling locations.
Polling locations, 27 was the last election count.
And so I don't have staff for that. to send somebody to every single polling location. I really would like to. If I have 18 polling locations, that's much easier for me to have a dedicated employee that's there helping our commissioners and commissioners in charge, because we're all learning this. It's a new process that we're gonna deal with. So
I know I'm one of them.
you're one of what?
I got booted. I was independent.
Oh,
You got changed to no
you got changed to no party. So that there's gonna be a lot of, public service and announcements and information that we're gonna be sending out, as we lead up to the election. But it's, there's a lot of new changes that are coming, and, we need all the help we can get with minimizing not only just cost, but manpower.
At what point do we reach out to the state to make sure that what's proposed is
After
legal?
you guys say that you want to.
Either do this or not.
This is y'all's plan.
Yes.
We're just making a recommendation, and you guys are welcome to do with it what you want, because at the end of the day, you're the one who decides whether to move forward with changing it, or you can say leave it the way it is. It's the jury's prerogative.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is what you guys do. So I base my opinion off your opinion.
And the proposal here does split that precinct 28 that we had all talked about, that
Yes.
we didn't have time to do before this election, which isn't happening anyways, and get everybody that in that kind of western part of that created precinct 28 and move them over to Longstreet. So it does fix that as well.
How many
Yeah.
precincts will we have now with less than 300 voters?
5.
No, under the proposal will be 5.
Yeah.
5.
Currently, we have 30. I
Oh.
just did canvas surveys on 30 of them. And if this proposal, as it stands today, goes through, we would be reduced down to 5, under 300 voters.
And
That'll meet the geographic.
Yes,
isolation.
they are either, we have one that would be consolidated, meaning we're moving it from a standalone polling location to one that is of equal or lesser value in distance for the voters to travel. Better parking, better facility. They would go to the Clista Calhoun Center instead of Shady Grove.
Shady Grove.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, that's me.
Yeah, and so it would move them to just an all-around better location, and they would consider that a consolidation, meaning there's already other precincts voting there, and so the state would exempt that as a consolidation, because you can't move them anywhere else. They can either fall under geographically isolated or consolidation, but we thought moving them to the Clista Calhoun Center would be a better situation for everyone involved. It's better parking, better facility, people are already there.
And it's saving those people 5 miles.
And it would save save the parish and the state money as far as the commissioners and commissioners in charge go, because instead of paying $250 for a standalone commissioner in charge at a single precinct location, you can pay a commissioner in charge that's already working an extra $50 and let them serve that precinct, because it is a smaller numbered precinct.
And Shady Grove was costing us $150 lease payment
So it
every
gets rid of that
election
lease
as well.
So with these 5 that are less than 300, there's nothing you can do with those 5.
Correct. 4 are
All right, so-
geographically isolated.
So there's nothing you can do with those 5. Every other precinct that we'll have will be around 2,000 voters per precinct or so.
No,
No.
many
Or they'll
would be
be merged
significantly
into-
less, but they would be over 300, so they don't have to qualify for any special exemption.
Okay, so they'll be over the 300.
Yes, sir.
So we'll only have 5 left. So you said we're required to look at these every year.
Those 5,
So
yes, sir.
for the next few years, we shouldn't be changing anything anymore. Because I've been here 4 years, and in 4 years, I think we've changed every year.
Yeah, this is.
You know, and this is
you came in
ridiculous.
right after a.
This is ridiculous. The voters don't like it. I don't like it. They get moved from here over there to have to go vote, and then they get moved back again. Their precincts change. They're constantly getting something in the mail about where they have to go vote.
Yeah.
So is this gonna take care of it for a while?
So the best that we can say is that it will, but every 10 years when the census comes around, you're required to go back through and apportion and redistrict everything. And so when you came in, that was on the tail end of that. And so in 2021, when they did the census, since COVID was in 2020, when you do census, there's a precinct freeze. You cannot get rid of any precincts, but you can add precincts. And so that was the creation of those additional little tiny precincts. And you're stuck that way for a year, is that correct?
You can start canvassing the third year after the census.
So then you can
That
start
would be 2027.
trying to merge them back together to get rid of all those little ones that had to be created based on the law. So initially, when school board redistricted first after the census, and the single municipal precincts were formed at the time, because at the time the discussion was for the police jury to kind of follow the similar lines of school board redistricting. And so the single municipal precincts that were formed for the 5 smaller municipalities were going to prevent those from having lockouts if they were still a part of a bigger precinct. But then when the jury went with Plan H instead of the initial plan, that kind of made that idea null and void. So we've merged them back into the bigger precincts around them, because like Lisa said, there's gonna be lockouts no matter what now. So that corrected that. Unfortunately, with the leased polling locations that aren't publicly owned facilities, we have no control over whether someone schedules a wedding the same day of an election day. So that, I mean, that's something that's out of our control, and that's common around the state anyway. If you're using facilities that you're at their mercy whether they decide they want to continue to have them as a polling location or not. And so several of the location changes have been due to that as well, so.
I have a question. So I'm just trying to get clarity. So my precinct 4 is gonna merge with 44?
Yes, ma'am. And precinct 4 was one of the single municipal precincts. It was
Yes.
the precinct that just followed the municipal lines of South Mansfield. And instead of having 2 precincts there, they're just gonna all be one precinct.
Okay, so then,
It's not changing any polling locations.
Nobody moves. It
Nobody
just
moves.
makes it where you can have one commissioner in charge and one set of commissioners instead of having to double your costs by having a second set of everything.
okay, so now, so will 4 become none and void, or?
It
So-
just becomes 44.
So 4 becomes
Oh, it
4?
becomes
No,
4.
4, sorry.
44 goes away and it becomes 4.
Okay, so 44 goes away and it becomes 4. 44 is my individuals in that Shady Grove area? No, hold on.
No, they don't vote in Shady Grove
No,
currently.
you're moving my Shady Grove people to,
We're they are going
Some
from,
to Magnolia, correct?
yes.
And then some to Calista Calhoun.
Okay.
That's a long stretch.
I'm saying,
Actually, from the Calhoun, how do you from Shady Grove and then at the Calhoun Center?
So if you, and I don't know if we can get the map put up, if Donald can put this new map up. But you can
Shady
show,
Grove to Magnolia.
yes.
Donald can do anything.
I'm a visual
because it's
person, like
some,
seeing
and
it on
it's
a map
some
is so much
in the,
better for me.
that's in my area of Grand Canyon that has to go to that Shady Grove location.
Mm-hmm.
So those people that's in that area, where are we sending, they're still gonna have to go to the Calista?
It depends on where they live, basically, so,
You went
we'll
from
get
the
these
furthest.
maps put up and
From the
might help
furthest.
answer questions.
Oh, they've got it in front of them.
Furthest, very furthest corner, I don't even know if there's a voter there or not. That's at Parish Road 1060. It's 12 miles. If the different distance between the two, Shady Grove and Magnolia, is going to be, by road, they're 7 miles, it's 7 miles apart.
And if you're looking at the map, you see how far down Shady Grove is. I mean, it's-
Yeah, I didn't drove down, I know.
And I've driven it, like on election day, I try to hit every single polling
Can you
location.
show her the boundary of 44 compared to where they were going in Shady Grove versus how the distance to when it was 44?
Yeah. This is 44 right up here. Give me 1 minute, and I'm going to highlight that for you. Okay. That's precinct 44 right there, that's shaded.
Okay,
They were coming down to Shady Grove right here.
so they was,
Instead, they'll be coming over to Magnolia. So if we just picked a spot, the second one picked that spot right there, just to get a comparison between the two. If somebody lived right there and they were coming to Shady Grove, that'd be a 10-mile drive. That's the most efficient way. And if we,
Now, 44 is not changing. The ones that were in 44, they're not changing. They're
Oh, okay.
staying at South Mansfield Community Center.
Okay.
I said 44, and what I
Yeah.
meant was 46B.
Ah.
Is
46B,
Okay, so
yes.
46B
It's the
is,
ones that are changing from Shady Grove to the Calista. So if you'll highlight 46B, I said 44, and I'm sorry for that.
it's all right, I just do what I'm told.
So that's 46B, and
Okay,
they were
yes.
going to Shady Grove.
okay,
And
so they
we
was
are
dry.
going to change them to the Calista because it would overall be approximately 5 miles closer for the furthest
Okay,
voter from that polling location. So it would be an overall better move for them.
Yeah, see, right now, they're probably looking at about a 15-mile drive from that, where number one is, down to here. The most
okay,
efficient way. Whereas if we went from, let's say those same people, and we came over here to Lister area, and you're looking at 10 miles. So it's gonna be shorter. Now, the only thing is you have people down on the south end,
yes,
so you gotta think about them. So let's take a look at this, and we come in over to here, and you're looking about 11 miles.
So it's still closer.
So it depends
Then
on
the
where you are,
furthest
because that's a
from-
long north-south
Right.
type precinct. So some on the, those on the upper half are gonna have less to travel. Those on the lower half, depending
Okay.
on where they live, they'd be about the same, maybe a little,
okay.
see what it is.
And
I think, yes, let's just see what it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
9
get them
miles.
there.
So it's within a mile.
Yeah, hey, get them there. Okay,
So when we figure distances, you're looking at the furthest distance that from the furthest precinct boundary to the polling location, whether a voter lives there or not, is how we figure it. And so even when we were looking at the voters that would be then on the closer end to Shady Grove, they're still within a mile of how far they were already traveling to Shady Grove versus going to Calista. It'd be within a mile.
We also tried to consider travel patterns. You know, where are those people on their normal daily activity, where are they generally traveling? Are they going into Mansfield, are they going to Logansport, are they going more into Stanley, that type of thing. So, since Mansfield is kind of your economic
Area.
engine for that area,
I
a
see
lot
what
of them
you're
are coming in and out of there. So that's kind of on their pathway already. It's not like they're having to drive to a polling place on roads they're not terribly familiar with.
okay, okay.
To answer your question though, Mr. Jimmy,
Yeah.
is that looking at this, I work in 38 different parishes. The efficiency of this, I don't see you having to change this before the next census. I really don't, because what ones you have that are the under 300 active voters, they're already meeting an exemption, so you don't have to change those. But this is probably, I was telling them when we were working through this, is probably one of the top 5 most efficient election systems that I've seen. Allen is probably the top, but this one is just really efficient.
it's only because they're alphabetically higher than we are.
That-
But that's just it.
It-
But at least for the clerk's office is concerned, you know, I'm trying to look at workers. This is gonna cut the number of workers that we need, which is just an ongoing across the state struggle. Whether it's, I mean, I'm having to call, my office is having to call Amanda at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I've had a commissioner in charge, they're sick, or they can't get childcare because they didn't realize it was on a Saturday. I don't even remember what the situation was. Oh, yeah, the kids were out of school for whatever reason. And so, I mean, there's logistical problems like that when we have the number of people that are required by having 57 or 54 individual precincts, you know, this would alleviate a lot of that problem.
Are y'all completely eliminating Stonewall Library?
Yes,
As a polling location,
Yes.
just because the room is so constricted and we can use the community center that's so close by, that has such a larger area to be able to house the machines. And we're already using North DeSoto schools down there. We're gonna consolidate them all into the pre-K instead of using the think they're at one and they go to the other. So, since we have those locations already that close and the facility houses the machines and the people a little more comfortably, in order to save money on draymen and commissioners and charging commissioners, we were able to say we'll send one to the community center, one to the pre-K, essentially what was at the library, and then not use that facility to save that money there, so.
So I went through this because I gotta get it conceptually in my head. At the North DeSoto Pre-K, the proposal will be 3 precincts with 10 machines. In the past election, we had 11 machines and 5 precincts. So that's 5 different books, 5 different tables, 5 different setups. Our proposal of go into 3 precincts with 10 machines doesn't even account for the fact that we're proposing to close the 2 precincts and 4 machines at the high school. So that's a consolidation of 15 machines and 7 precincts down to 10 machines and 3 precincts. The community center, the proposal will require and necessitate 7 machines and 3 precincts. In the past, we've had 6 machines and 3 precincts, but we're proposing closing the library, which had 5 machines and 2 precincts. So we're able to help more voters and just be more streamlined in what we're doing.
What library was that?
Pardon?
Stonewall.
Stonewall.
In Stonewall. At the Callista Center, we, in the past, we had 12 machines and 6 precincts at the last election. We are proposing 5 precincts. It would necessitate 11 machines, and that doesn't account for the fact that we actually are proposing to close the Mansfield Library location. Because again, what we're seeing on election day is people are going to the library and nope, you gotta be at the Callista Center or vice versa. They're so close, with the consolidations, we can get everybody down to potentially one location, fewer tables for them to have to visit to find out what precinct they need to vote in.
And having volunteered the last several years, I saw that a lot. She keeps somebody up by the door just to let them know when they come in, telling them where to go.
Yes.
Happens
and
more than you might think.
It does. And so under the proposal, those are the only 3 polling locations that would house more than 1 precinct, if I'm,
I've got a question.
yes.
On our last election, I've had a couple of friends, tell me that there was a line at North DeSoto. I don't know if they were at the high school, or if they were at the precinct, or at the pre-K, but we're adding 1,900 voters to North DeSoto pre-K. What are we doing there as far as are we adding more machines at North DeSoto pre-K? We adding more people? What are we doing there?
I could add another machine or 2 to help, but that's not really where we have the problem, in my opinion. Just someone who visits the polling locations on election day, when you go into the pre-K specifically, you had 5 precincts. So 5 tables, and the line was, everybody get your driver's license out, and there's a lot of, what table do I need to go to? I don't know my precinct. I haven't checked, the Go Vote app, whatever. And so that was a lot of the wait. But I would be interested to see what the wait was as far as once I got, signed and all of that.
And
And I vote at, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say, I vote at the library, and it was typically, there was always a flow in there, but we typically got in and out. And it's just kind of a concern when we're adding almost 2,000 new voters to one spot and taking the library completely away. What are we gonna do to combat that line when there was already a line from, I don't go to the precincts, but
Cutting down the
I hear
number of
people.
tables to visit to try to figure out what book you're in.
Yeah.
Is gonna help alleviate that to some degree, and like Lisa said, she can add some extra machines if that would help alleviate that concern. Her having her people at as many polling locations as possible will also help streamline that, because if you
Yes.
think about it, when we have 57 precincts, the number of commissioners that we have that return every time are not, it's a lot of new people every time, because it's kind of a revolving door of people that want to serve as a commissioner. And so a lot of times you're training people as commissioners as you go through an election day, and so that can also slow things down. With us being able to have a fewer number of precincts and polling locations, we'll be able to use some of our older experienced commissioners that kind of know what's going on and things like that. And also, not to be just a bearer of bad news as far as that goes, but you guys might want to start helping spread the word that the closed party primaries are coming, and there
Definitely.
will be lines, because any no party voter is going to have to designate themselves and fill out paperwork, every one of them. And then there will be, that's going to unfortunately slow things down a little bit, and that's.
Do we tell them to come to your office beforehand?
Make sure that
Absolutely.
Yeah.
they can designate,
As far
change
as-
their party now if they want to, absolutely.
And is
I
it
would-
possible to have some signage up out front to let those guys know that they can go to that Go Vote app and where they can define what precinct they're in to help save some of that line time rather than wait to the last minute?
I'll just be honest with you.
People don't read the signs?
No, they don't. I mean, you know, that's part of our opening the polls every election is we get the signs out. We use the terrible tape. I mean, my commissioners complain about it. They stick everything on the wall. How many of y'all have been to the polling locations and seen someone actually staring at anything but what's on the
So we
the
need somebody
ballot?
with a bullhorn out there just saying, hey, everybody check the Go Vote app and find out
Can I
what
ask one more-
precinct you're in.
Can I ask one more question? So I'm looking at this and I see on the back page, we've got, and this is the first time I looked at this, we got 1911 new voters at North DeSoto Pre-K, number 9, and then number 12, we've got another 1632. Is that right?
That's the total number of voters per each of those precincts.
So they're all gonna be at North DeSoto Pre-K?
So currently, what was at North DeSoto Pre-K was,
Just gotta check our
I've got
handy
counts,
dandy.
hang on,
Yeah.
I'll get you numbers. We can add it all up and compare.
Hmm?
So, let me find my old book.
Right.
So going back to the closed primary, one of the workarounds that they have, not only do these 4,500 voters are gonna have to select on election day, but each of our commissioners are gonna have to type in a 3-digit code before every single voter.
So we've got.
No matter if you're, the birthday party or whatever your designation is, and you don't get to vote in the Democratic or the Republican primary, then you would vote in the no party primary. And so they're having to type in 109. They're having to type in 309 if you're on the Democrat, and then, 909, whatever the numbers are, I can't remember exactly. We've done some workshops and whatnot, so.
Mansfield Library, what precinct is that?
It is the
3543.
the difference between the original. Mansfield Library, I believe, give me just a second.
So to answer your question, the total of voters being added to the North DeSoto Pre-K is 1,541.
How many machines did we have at it last time?
At the last election, the pre-K had 11 machines
And how many
and
tables?
5
And-
tables,
How many machines will we have this time?
10, and 3
Three
tables.
That's hard to get behind.
And
Real
look,
hard to
it's-
get behind.
We're
We're getting less machines, but almost, was that 150% more voters? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, it's
No, that's 50% or 75% more voters. Right?
The original number was 2,002.
And we're getting
increasing
1,500 more?
1,500 more.
How many, what's that percentage? I can't do that, mate. Yeah, 75. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, yeah, that's hard to get behind. We're losing a machine and we're adding 75% more voters. Yeah, it's hard.
So that's understandable. And like she said, she can add an extra machine or keep the machines the same or whatever, as with the state's approval.
Yeah.
But if you'll look at the research of where the slowdowns are during voting, it's not at the machines. It's the sign-in process and getting going. So
Yeah.
that's something that like we can work on and try to come up with a solution to. But like we said, this is just a proposal. Y'all are welcome to do with it as you
Right.
wish. You can choose to accept parts of it. You can choose to accept none of it.
Could I ask a question as a constituent of Stonewall, if that's okay?
Go ahead.
So, I'll be changing also, by the way, I don't know where I'll be voting at this point, but is that total voters, or is that, because Stonewall is typically, we have a high turnout of people voting early. I mean, an enormous turnout, so.
These are total voters.
That's total
This doesn't-
voters. So do we know what the turnout was from the last election?
And what percentage of,
I can get percentages for
I'm
the
just,
last election.
that might alleviate some of the concerns,
I mean,
because,
they're
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna early vote. I mean,
I'm an early
looking at this,
voter.
I don't wanna stand in line with 1,000, 1,500 people. I know my neighbors, and they're pretty, they're neighbors, let's just put it that way, and they're probably not gonna do this, they'll probably early vote too. I just know there's a lot of early voters up there.
All I'm gonna say is, if gets okayed and the lines back up, it's all on y'all. I would advise you to have enough machines and enough people signing people up to get the flow going. And if you have too many this time, then you'll know you can cut back some next time.
And-
But it's not gonna be on us on this.
Well,
I mean,
and I do
You said you
understand.
could put another machine if the state okays it. Well, if we okay this, are we knowing we're gonna get another machine from the state? The state has to okay it?
The state has to approve, and I haven't been told no yet, let me say that, but I'm new.
well, surely decreasing the overall number they would approve.
I would hope so. They will, and that's something that I've had to ask for approval, was to add machines on those small precincts where I'm only, under the election code, I'm allowed one. So these small precincts, the 7 voter precincts that we have, the 27 voters, I'm allowed one machine, but out of an abundance of caution, they have approved allowing me to have 2 on each of those, which is how we get to the 117. And, I mean, we're making our recommendation. Yeah, if y'all,
And these are all questions why we wanted to do a workshop.
Right,
Was to see
right.
what questions you had, that way we could get answers for you and come back when it's time to do it.
And a
have it.
precinct that has 7 voters, you said?
we have, no, I think we consolidated it at the last, but at the
Our-
last election, we had one with 7.
We've got one with 75, one with 81, one with 59, one with 35, one with 97, 97,
They don't have
and
paper
21.
ballots at all? There's no such thing as a paper ballot at all?
Were you here in 2020?
I'm just
There
asking.
was a big
I mean,
uproar about someone
a
having to vote on a
7
paper ballot because they
A
had a machine
7-voter
malfunction.
precinct having 2 machines,
Yeah,
one just in case the other one goes down.
yeah.
Why wouldn't you say have paper ballots for 7 people
Because
available?
You can't treat any group of voters differently than you do.
So what's the alternate when the machine goes down then?
Well,
Paper
when,
ballots, if the machine does go down.
That's what I was
There
gonna
are
say.
paper ballots there, but you
Then
can't
that would-
take the option away from them.
So we've
That
had
would-
that.
you're not taking the option away. If you have a machine there and it goes down, it malfunctions,
No, I mean.
you're not
you
taking
can't
the
just
option
not
away.
Bring machines there. is
Huh?
all. I was just saying you can't just.
She
not
has to bring a
offer them.
machine.
Say not have a machine. I'm saying not have an extra machine. We're
Right.
putting an extra machine there in case one goes down.
Yes.
In other words, like me working at the railroad, I never did my work expecting a derailment.
Yeah.
Derailments do happen, but when that happens, you make other plans.
Absolutely.
You don't plan your work planning on a derailment. Same thing with this. You don't put an extra machine at a precinct's got 7 voters in case one goes out. You have paper ballots available. That don't make any sense to begin with. To put 2,
handcuffed to that.
you know?
Have to.
Well, that is
Best
the
practice.
best practice.
No, they're not handcuffed to it. They just got through saying the alternative would be a paper ballot. So that would be the alternative. Don't
So-
put 2 machines at
That
that.
was
So
just
we,
7 voters
we
then, am I
we have
correct?
consolidated, those precincts y'all have already done. But those have been taken care of. But there were some small precincts like that at the last election.
After redistricting.
I
After
understand,
redistricting.
I understand that, but your plans, as of right now, is to have 2 machines at those small precincts. That's what I'm saying.
That's
At
the
those-
best practices around the state. That's what's common for the
But
So
whole.
you're
you
gonna put 2
consolidate
at
them, right?
precinct like that, but we may not be, or may or may not be able to get an extra, machine at Stonewall where we're adding 1,500 voters. That don't make sense.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is they have not said no to the request that I have made so far, for our what we've done for best practices. I've put, we've got we're going down to 5 precincts that are, the smallest one is 121 voters, and we're unable to merge them with anyone else anyways. And then the other 4 are geographically isolated. And so we would go down to those 5 would be just the
just my
smallest.
idea, from what I've seen here and in the past, the state is not helping us. They're not trying to make it any easier for people to vote. If they were, they wouldn't have done this no party crap that there's going on here. That would not have gone through.
You're talking about the closed primary?
Closed primary, yeah. That would not have happened. So they're not making it any easier. And here they are wanting everybody to go down to as few precincts as possible and do away with the machines and do away with the manpower. We send enough money to Baton Rouge to furnish, pay for all the elections, every year.
They are not, they're not spearheading this.
Somebody's spearheading
Well,
it.
this is us.
We thought it was not wise to spend that much money if we didn't have to.
Right.
And so this was us trying to be good stewards of the public dollars here at DeSoto Parish. That's
And-
us.
See that?
And understanding that we're coming up on closed primaries, and in order to, streamline as much as I can my use of my employees, and commissioners, because, y'all been on election day.
Someone
I've
that is,
been in some of the places, and I'm sorry, it seems like it's a lot of people just kind of sitting around.
Yeah.
You have
Yes.
quite a few
someone
folks
that is, a no party, are they gonna have to go through this every election?
If they don't designate a party permanently, yes.
And only on closed parties. Currently, that's Bessie, Public Service Commission, Supreme Court, Congress, Senate.
And I said every election, it's every election cycle. They will designate during the closed party primary what they wish to be for that election cycle. Stay that same party through the general election, and then it will start over unless they choose to designate as a specific party permanently.
I think, you done?
Go ahead.
I think that, I could live with the 700 voters from the high school going to the pre-K, but I feel like the library needs to stay open.
How much time do we have once you submit your changes to the state before you get an answer? And then also, will you be allowed to carry extra people, since because of the no party action, it's gonna require more time? Are they gonna pay us or allow us, cost share us to put more commissioners out there to take care of some of that load?
I'll get an answer on, at least as far as the commissioners and getting more.
It seems like they
people.
would. They know it's gonna create extra work.
On your,
Unfortunately, just to clarify, the closed party primary decision comes from legislature, and the Secretary of State is just held to following what laws are passed down to
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if the legislature does not change the allowance of commissioners by law, that's all set by law. Obviously, there are special allowances where they will approve things, but they're.
Well,
gonna
I
have
think
the
Mr.
whole
Holmes
thing
is correct. With all the money that we're sending them, I don't think that's a bit out of line. Whatever we ask for, we ought to get.
Especially if we're trying to
Good
condense it
luck.
down and save money there too.
We are dealing with Louisiana State.
Hey, man, Greg's got a question.
Okay,
your,
okay.
hang on a second, it went away.
I did that
Where
too.
in
I'm
the
sorry.
world is it at? The community center. There's only 1,253 voters at the community center, is that correct?
Stonewall Community Center,
Yes.
there's 1253 for precinct 16, for proposed precinct 16. And then,
That's the only thing there.
yes, sir. So we could shift some to the community center, or we could, like Mr. Latham said, keep the library open. I mean, it's up to y'all.
Yeah, that's
This
why,
is y'all's prerogative.
how many machines are you planning to have at the community center?
The community center would be, 7 machines with
7 machines for
3
12,
precincts.
for 1,253. and 10 machines for 3,500?
Wait, was that the previous number at the community center?
No, 7 machines would be 3 machines for precinct 16, 2 machines for precinct 30, and 2 machines for
30.
precinct 38.
Where
So
did 30,
those,
where did
this
30
that you're
come
looking
from?
at, Mr. Baker, this one here, are just the ones that we're making changes on. The existing precincts, I have a list if you wanna know how many are in the existing precincts at Stonewall Community Center. So we'll have total, the number of precincts at Stonewall Community Center would be 3 precincts. It would be precinct 16, which is this new merged one. It's gonna be estimated at 1253. Precinct 30 has currently 801, and 30A has currently 121. That's the one we were recommending to consolidate into that location. Or no, it's already at that location. It's already consolidated.
So it's 2,000. It's 2,200 people gonna be at Stonewall Community Center. And using 7 machines versus 3,500 people using 10 machines. If you don't wanna keep the library open, you need to balance those 2 precincts, those 2 voting places out. You don't need 3,500 people going in one building, period. It's too many people. So either take 1,000 of them, move them to the community center, or either leave the library open.
What would you all think of the number 9 on the proposed precinct mergers list? Precinct 23 merged with precinct 16A and 16C. Instead of setting them to North DeSoto Pre-K, the total number of voters there is 1,911, putting them at the library.
I'm lost there. I don't.
So
You
moving
can
six-
move,
moving 16,
I understand you merging the North DeSoto High School with the pre-K. So the group that goes in, because they're on the same,
Right.
you walk 100 feet one way or the other. And I've been going there for 30 years and I still don't know which building to go into. So our early vote, I eliminated that problem. So you can merge the schools. I don't mind, and the schools will probably appreciate you getting out of one of the buildings. But the ones that are at the library, and that's been precinct 16 for years, has met at the library. Leave them at the library or move them to the community center.
But your proposal would be precinct 16 and 16B remaining at the library.
16 and
That's
16.
number 7.
I think he's wanting to alleviate some pressure off of North DeSoto Pre-K,
Right.
am I correct?
That 3,500 people, that's got to go away.
So right now,
You
what we're
got to-
proposing.
I don't care how you
either
do it,
precinct
that's got to go
23
away.
Or precinct,
At least get some of them up to
precinct
Stonewall
23 or
Community
proposed
Center.
precinct 31, move one
Or
of
or
them
leave,
either to
or
the
leave the
library.
library open, one or the other.
I think the library should stay open. I mean, we've done a lot of consolidating over the entire parish to
Yeah,
save money.
And 23 has.
And I feel like if
1,000.
that's one thing we can compromise, I think
I
that'll
think
be,
yeah, just leave the library open
So
and try
currently
to
with,
balance out the 3 precincts then. 'Cause
okay,
it's 3
Yeah.
voting places.
I'm with you, I'm with that.
So right now.
That's number 7.
Well, they're scattered all over the piece of paper, I can't hardly.
so geographically, precinct 23, which we currently have the proposed precinct 23, we have currently set to go to North DeSoto Pre-K. Estimated voters, 1,911. Geographically, that's closer to put back to the library. The other option would be proposed precinct 31. I'm sorry, not proposed, it's existing, correct? Yeah. Let's see here. That's going there, that's going there. What all do we, 23. Proposed precinct 23 is, that's what I just said. I'm sorry, let me get my notes here, 31, 34. Proposed precinct 34 is the other option. That would not be as close geographically to go to the library, but the number of voters estimated there would be 1,632. So we could move either of those to the library if that would eliminate the
If we can
concerns
just split
there.
them up between those 3, I think that'd
Yeah,
be
you
fine.
got
Whatever
this,
you
this
guys
is-
think is the best, just split those 3 up.
Well, we're here to work with y'all. I mean, we're here to
Basically,
help,
if we
so.
moved 23, which is geographically closer to the library, that would take 1,911 out of that big total going to the pre-K. And what would be left at the pre-K would be precinct 31, which currently has 370 voters, and precinct 34, which is 1,632 proposed,
That's like
estimated
19.
voters. So it would make the library and the pre-K about equal.
About equal.
And then the community center would have slightly more.
Yeah.
So,
In the high school,
It kind of
because
a three-way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
high school
that
is- yeah.
sounds a lot more balancing.
sure. We're happy to make that change. I will do that right
Because
now.
I don't remember what precinct we're talking about.
23, we're talking about changing to the library
Okay.
and everything else staying the same.
But I know there were some concerns about the community center. Was that you, Mr. Baker? Who had the concerns about the community center?
Mr. Bake, we were adding up numbers at the
it's
community.
just adding numbers.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
not
okay. I
concerned.
just want to make
It's-
sure we address any of the,
It'll hold, community center, library, and the pre-K can all hold the same number of people. There's enough parking around all three of those buildings. And there again, people don't live that far away from there. It's such a congested area, so. You know, I was looking at one of these you just said, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna criticize your paperwork, cause it sucks, but
it makes sense to us, Mr. Baker. When we were
some of
making it,
these, what is this, 34?
which one?
Precinct 34. Where is that at? What people are those?
We can show you.
34 is up around
I
Mr.
don't,
Jimmy.
just tell me the neighborhood.
Dixie Swim Club Road.
Okay,
This one, yeah.
okay.
That's your area. What area is that?
And they would stay at the high school or at the
Pre-K.
pre-K?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
34 on your street.
That'd be across the parking lot.
Polo 4.
Too many.
So that would make, yeah, these numbers.
Sure.
Just for clarity's sake, at the Stonewall Community Center, we would have 801, 121.
I'm kinda glad mine's moving from Shady Grove. It was too far. I ain't think I was gonna ever find it down there when I
I
went
didn't
down
know
there.
reception. That's one of my
I kept
other
driving like, where is this place?
concerns is with the closed primaries coming up is, you know, when we have questions and issues,
2175.
Okay.
you know, with a voter and we're trying to get a hold of the registrar's office, how are we gonna get reception
Is
in
that
some of
too
these
much?
issues?
Yeah.
I got none. I have to drive down the
Coming
road.
from out
No,
of
no,
town.
because it's not one precinct.
Not one
I'm
precinct.
sorry, mixing things up. So currently with what we've just discussed, changing the precinct 23, 1,911 voters to the Stonewall Library, that puts 1,900 there. It puts-
1,900 at the library.
It puts 2,175 total at the community center, and then the other approximate 1,900 to 2,000 at the,
Pretty
Yeah.
evenly distributed.
so.
Sounds good to me.
I have one last question, if I could ask. North DeSoto Pre-K building. Are y'all anticipating the construction to interfere with the voting? Because y'all know they're working on that building right now.
It'll be done by next election.
I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know what part, other than what I can see from the road,
And
I
I
don't
don't know
know,
what.
are they, we are currently using the cafeteria. We
put
use
some more
the cafeteria, and the parking is the lots between the high school and the cafeteria, which is right there in front
Right,
of
right,
baseball
that's,
fields.
right, that's where they put
So
all
I
the
don't-
buses and whatnot.
Right, and so I don't know, anybody knows better than I.
About?
the situation at
North
the
DeSoto Pre-K.
North DeSoto Pre-K
Oh,
construction.
never mind, can't
or
help.
what they're- cause I don't know what part they're constructing.
When's the election?
Well, they have an election coming up in November, but I don't think this
is not gonna
these,
affect that.
this will be the next
And
election.
we
Yes.
currently don't have anything on the ballot for the November.
Although I had
I
heard
thought there was a November election.
they do have a November election, but there's nothing on it right now.
Oh,
We keep hearing that there may be a school board prop on there, but we have not
There
gotten
could be something on the ballot, it's just a,
And
Kinda
the-
late, isn't it?
The deadline is September 22
as of right
for
now, it doesn't look
props.
like we don't have anything.
When do we come up?
would we be able to adopt an ordinance
28?
before
2028?
election? This wouldn't even affect the
This is
current,
a-
this is the next one.
In 2026.
election year 26.
Correct.
So it would be.
I'm just thinking, I know that that construction that they have is gonna be ongoing through probably sometime next year, so, I don't know if that's gonna be an issue.
I don't know, I mean, I can go by the schools and see.
If it is, we can move, you can move it to the high school.
So the issue with the high school is,
There's the rub.
it's literally in like the stairwell, right there by the band frame.
Can't go in the gym?
Go in the band room.
School's prerogatives, where they put it.
Where
They
put
the
us, where
ones
they
that
put us.
decide where we go.
Serious?
Yes.
So it's just
In the
historically.
foyer
been open,
area?
so.
Next to DeSoto,
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Maybe they'll be a little lenient with us if they're still under.
If they
I've
have
been
it
in
this
the
time,
gym
what
one
makes you think
time.
they gonna change?
And that was on a presidential election. Every other time it's been in the doors on the south end.
The doors?
Inside,
It's
inside
stairwell.
the,
It's right outside the band room.
Yeah, which is silly, because the band room is more than enough room. It's huge. I've been in there. many
My
times.
commissioners, have complained about the bathrooms there. I do hear a lot from the high school commissioners more than I do from the pre-K.
It's probably because they're located in the stairwell. Just,
Probably so.
And I do want to point out too, Mr. Hefner and Lisa and I have talked about this. We obviously can't tell the future about how population changes will affect the parish, but as it stands, looking at the trends of things since the last census to now, it would appear that these changes would make it to where when the new census comes about, we would have minimal precinct changes at that point, so,
Just looking like to me.
yeah.
In the stairwell? Isn't that kinda like?
It is a large stairwell.
And also,
My mind went back to the stairwell. I'm like, I mean,
and
is
also,
it's really an
Also leave-
entryway.
leaving the library open, then that would leave us open to add more voters at each
When the
precinct
census comes,
location,
yeah.
right?
It does, correct, if we end up having to create an additional precinct due to the
Because
census.
isn't that where the majority of our population change is at?
And keep
That's where
building and
historically
growing,
it has
so that's
been,
where it's
yeah.
gonna.
Then I would say leave all three of them open just for that reason.
Yep.
And that's, as I get plats and things like that, that's historically where they are, is a minority.
Mr. Justice had asked what do we do as far as approval from the state. Once the jury makes a decision on which ones they want to consolidate in the polling locations, I have to draft the ordinance and send that to the state for them to look at it for a pre-approval. What they'll do is they'll check our work to make sure that all of it qualifies, and then we'll get a letter of approval, and then it will come back to you as an introduction ordinance. And then you just go through your normal ordinance adoption process, introduction and then final.
So how long would you think that process would take? 6 months?
No, you could probably have it done by the end of the year. But this won't go into effect until
That's what,
election
next
year
year.
twenty-six.
And we can't, and again, forgive me, I read this prior to the last meeting that we had when we
Yeah.
had to make the change to our polling location, and we talked about that split between the newly created 28 and 11. But I don't think we can implement this until after the November 15th election, even if we don't have anything.
They can
But-
vote on doing it, you can vote on moving forward with it, it just cannot go into effect until after after this election cycle is over, which would be
We'd probably
basically for
set the-
2026.
We'd probably set in the ordinance effective date of January 1st, 2026.
Okay.
And so what election we would be coming into then?
There's 2 elections on the books for October and November this year. We don't have anything for sure on October. Those deadlines have long passed. But the deadline for propositions for the November 15th election are still open for 2 more weeks. And so we can't confirm that
we'll
we don't
still
have
be
a
under-
November election until after that end of September deadline passes.
So
for
we'll
vote.
still be under the current
Correct.
location.
Even though we're not having an election at the moment,
So-
it's still on the books.
Okay, so
so we're
going
still held to
into
that.
26 is where these changes.
Correct. So the people, which Mr. Latham and I had a conversation about this, people getting upset about in that precinct 28 area, Grand Cane, Long Street between there, getting upset about getting a card saying they have to go vote at Dave Means. The likelihood is the ones that are upset about it are the ones that are gonna be shifted back over to the Long Street area, and this when this moves forward, if y'all continue with what you've already discussed there, that would alleviate that concern. And they will actually not ever wind up having to go vote at the Dave Means building because we will not have had an election
Okay,
since y'all made the changes.
okay,
Right.
I'm following you.
And that came about because the state required us to send out notice,
Mm-hmm.
even though we know that that's coming.
It's kind of a midway point
Okay.
to the end solution to the Grand Cane Baptist Church deciding not to house it as a polling location anymore.
Okay.
So
One more question. You said that the school board has not given y'all anything for a proposal?
they don't give it to us.
They do
It
send
goes
it to
through the
me,
state,
and
does
we
it
don't,
to me.
and we don't have anything
Yeah.
yet.
Because, you know, their tax renewal is in November for like their big tax renewal. So I'm kind of surprised they haven't made proper
And
notification for
again,
that.
they have until the 22nd.
Okay.
And so,
And it has
I mean,
to
it's
go
on
through
my
all the
whiteboard,
attorneys
I've got it,
and
I
then all
know.
that stuff, and then the attorneys send us notice that there's an official election being called, so. So far, we haven't gotten that.
I got a
Let
question.
me, go ahead.
This is about Logansport getting 1,600 new voters too, so.
So they're not new, they're all going to the same location already. The number of voters going to the Logansport Library is staying exactly the same, instead of having 3 precincts with 3 tables.
Everybody be 10.
It's gonna be, it's just gonna be 1 precinct, 1 table,
One book.
1 book. Everyone will all be in 1 book. It should
One
help.
location?
Yeah, I mean, it's always.
They're
the
already
same.
there,
location, that's
yeah.
where they
Oh,
are.
you always had the same location?
Yeah,
but-
same
okay, gotcha.
location.
But you just said 1,600
I
new
have,
voters.
I think I have,
It's just the
3.
new count for
But
the
all 3
1 precinct.
precincts
All 3
together?
precincts are
Okay.
gonna merge together into 1 precinct.
And
Oh,
then
that was a quick answer.
part of 11 and 11C.
11C is a single municipal precinct. It is the town or village of
Long Street.
Long Street.
Long Street.
So,
And it's
They're
just gonna get
merging.
absorbed back into that bigger
That
precinct.
bigger.
yes.
We had set up the single municipal precincts in case they had their own propositions and what have you, that they would be able to just code all of Long Street to that 1 precinct. There'd be no splits, ins and outs. But now with all the lockouts because of party affiliation, that
It
doesn't
got
make
rid
any
of that
sense
plan, it made it
anymore.
kinda null and void.
You might as well get rid of a machine and a table and just consolidate it.
What areas, all areas do Hurd Road, take in? What all precincts fall in that? I see
Where's-
45, that's on 175 going east.
Over here by
Which road,
Mansfield.
Pogue Road?
175 is gonna be
175 going east, Hurd Road.
Herd Road.
HEARD, mister?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That's 171.
The 175 is gonna be down
175 is
here.
gonna be over this way.
Out on Mansfield.
I go a little, I go
Right
so
there.
far up to, where I go up to?
Yeah, I think.
You got it right
Yeah,
there
I
at the
see it,
bottom of the
True Vine,
There's
Herd
not-
Road.
Hurd Road, True Vine,
Here.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
there, okay.
Precinct
Precinct
9.
Precinct
Precinct nine.
9.
Mhm.
I see
I guess what it
45.
currently
Okay, yeah.
It's currently 9 right now, too.
Okay, that takes from 175 on down to Hurd Road up. Takes in also,
That's 9 right there.
okay, this is 9. Okay.
And that's not changing.
And that's not changing.
Yeah, that precinct boundary's not
416
changing at all. It's just
416
moving
people.
from the Mansfield Library to the Calista Calhoun Center.
Okay, you're right, that's it, okay,
Oh, okay.
that's it.
I see what-
All right, any more questions on the precinct changes? Have we got everything ironed out?
I think
Pretty much.
so.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
So would y'all like us to bring this back to the jury, cause y'all have to vote for us to ask for approval essentially, if we make that change to leave them at the library?
I guess we have to vote on it, yeah, you'll have to.
Yeah, in order for us to
Submit
seek
it to
approval,
us.
y'all have to vote on it, so we can put it on the agenda
Make the
for
changes and bring it to us to vote on.
next month.
Yeah,
Meeting?
October.
Okay.
If y'all want to put October, just,
We will move forward with that, and I will get updated paperwork.
And,
All right.
we can start
we
working
need
on it.
everything from y'all by September 29th
September
to put on the agenda,
For the
Okay.
ordinance.
October 6th. But we have to have
We
everything
can
a
at least
week
have it by
before.
title.
I'll be out of town.
It's the written
Already
descriptions
stopped.
that take a while.
Make me
The,
work.
the deadline is the 29th.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Turn it up, turn it off.
That's fine.
Next we print that memo.
All right, let's move right along here.
Are you free that day?
Item number 2 on the agenda is discuss the compactor site hours.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
And if anyone thinks of anything else, feel free to holler at us.
Holler or call?
What's that? Or
Holler or call?
preferably call and speak nicely.
Or I like text.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so what we finna do?
All right, Mr. Norton, do you want to,
Yes, I can
Start
start
this
this.
discussion.
So, this was something that's kind of come before the jury a couple times, and Mr. Justice was the last juror who asked to schedule a workshop to discuss the compactor site hours, how y'all want them to basically be laid out. So I've given y'all 2 alternate schedules. You don't have to use these schedules, but they give you like alternate schedule 1, if you look at they're 2 pages each, it shows you the annual compactor site payroll and based upon an alternate schedule 1, what your estimated savings would be. And just know this, this is about saving taxpayer money. But y'all need to know, I mean, I got the numbers. I was gonna have to do an estimate on the numbers over the next year and the year after for revenue associated with just solid waste. But Haas Codre, the assessor, just gave us this information. We just got it today, the tax rolls. So next year, at the 5.46 millage rate, based upon the assessed values, just the solid waste millage is gonna lose about $133,000 in tax revenue. Just that millage. If you take into account the jury rolled back the taxes at this last election, which is gonna go in be effective the next year, you're gonna have an additional, if you were to estimate the same numbers, which they'll be a little bit different, but they won't be far off of that. The same numbers the jury will lose in that year, $391,000 just for solid waste. So that's why, you know, I want you guys to be aware, this is about saving money, but it's anticipating over the next 2 years, the loss in revenue that you will be realizing. Now, can we afford it? I don't know. I mean, you know, we've built a new cell. We'll be probably going into that new cell the beginning of this year sometime, next year. You know, with Live Oak currently reducing the amount of garbage that they bring, that they market for us. Now, we no longer get the Bossier waste, and they're sending that to other places, so.
And what did we say that projected loss was gonna be? I think we've discussed that before.
We did, but right now, the revenue's about
About the same now.
same, yeah. So, you know, those who are screaming, "Oh my God, we're going to lose $3-4 million," that's not the case at this point. Now, we may lose some money next year, but I mean, I don't know. We don't know with Live Oak sending all their garbage elsewhere. We're still getting some of the Pratt material. That was the big stuff that we were worried about with the Pratt material. But the Pratt material is you make a lot of money off of it, but you pay for it. You pay for it on the back end with leachate processing, with equipment that is damaged due to the water that's in that. So there's a cost associated with that you're gonna have to pick up. So really, are you saving any money, you know, by taking that much Pratt material? I don't know. I mean, I don't wanna make this about Live Oak, but I'm just telling y'all, I'm giving you these these numbers. These are places where that you have the option. You can change the compactor side hours, because right now, the current schedule that y'all have, you have a current schedule attached there, and it's that top row on there. That's the current schedule for each of the sites.
Which one?
On all these sites, yeah, you have 2 alternate schedules, and on each alternate schedule, you have the current site schedule, and you have the below proposed site, you know, again.
So I don't see the tonnage in here. Can you put that on the screen
The tonnage,
or the amount of
that is
It's on a paper
also,
by
it's the
itself.
last sheet you have in there.
it?
That is your tonnage
That's
cost
the
per
cost.
ton.
Cost per ton, but
Right.
not the
Now,
actual production.
The actual tonnage hauled, I do have that, I just was able to update this stuff because we've been working on all this. So I didn't get y'all copies of all this. So what's your question
Can,
specifically?
can Carrie make a copy of that for
Yeah,
us real
absolutely.
quick? Thank you.
That still shows, your top 5 sites are Stonewall, South Mansfield, and they're in this order: Stonewall, South Mansfield, Logansport, Frierson, and Kickapoo. Those are your top 5 generating sites. Now, if you look at the cost per ton, that question came up years ago. Hey, what does it cost to move a ton of garbage out of each site? That's based on payroll for each location. So payroll accompanied with, the truck fees and everything. So for example, Benson costs $489.63 per ton of garbage moved, based upon the number of truck trips that are taken to that site every year. That's also split between, you have your closed top, which is your compactors, and you have your open top, which are your open top. So, and those numbers are all different. But it boils down to, you can see what it costs per year to move a ton of garbage. You can see how long these hours are open. And I am not here to pick on any particular site. Y'all, it's my job to present that information, and y'all come up with that. But the proposals all kind of stem around, let's shave an hour off in the morning, because most of our sites open at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, that's also when we're least busy. 6 to 7, I mean, we did a count on Stonewall, which is your busiest site. We put a counter down, and the count was, you're having probably 20, 25, 20 to 26 trips across that strip, 6 to 7 in the morning. You divide that by 2, because you have to go in and you got to come out, so it's counting it twice. So 10 to 12 trucks in the morning. That's what the count is. I was asked to do a count. Mr. Baker asked me about that quite some time ago, and we did that. So, but Stonewall site was consistently, it was busy all day, with the exception of that first hour and even the last hour, and it's open till 7 o'clock at night. But Stonewall is only open Monday through Saturday.
I saw
It's
that.
not open on Sundays. One of the alternate schedule had it open just half a day on Sunday. So I personally am an advocate for not having any of them open on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's just, because most of the people who work for us, they go to church, and they can't be at church and work at a compactor site. Now, some of them probably don't, but that was just one of the proposals. So, but that, even if you closed every one of them on Sunday, you're saving a little taxpayer. You're saving some money doing that. But anyway, you guys get the calls from the constituents. It's more than I do, and I do get some calls. So
They open on Sunday.
How many, I was just wondering, did you put a counter like at Grand Cane that's open
no,
on
we were
Sunday?
we were only asked to do that at Stonewall.
Okay.
But I mean,
I was just
we
wondering.
have some count machines that we can deploy those, but you want to do a counter for like 2 to 3 week time period. And we have 18 compactor sites. I can try to do them at the busy, and Grand Cane's not one of the busiest ones.
I know it's not, and I
Right.
was just wondering, why would it be open on Sunday
It's not a big.
rather than Monday?
It's closed on Monday.
I think
it's
that
closed
was,
on
I think that at the prior jury,
What was the
I mean,
reason for
Ernell,
that?
Greg, y'all were here before me, so,
I didn't realize it was like that.
yeah, I mean, it was, basically, y'all drafted schedules based upon each individual juror at one time, probably 20 years ago. I don't know, I wasn't here, but these are the times, these are the schedules we have. Now, understand, if we change something, and tonight's just about discussing it, y'all would have to take action to change all this stuff. We'll have to get the signage done. That takes time. We have to make all those signs. You gotta change out all those signs. And undoubtedly, you're gonna have some people not happy with changing it a little bit, even if you're changing it for part of it. So, but the theme of this, if you did nothing else, and you just cut a couple hours out of each site. Now, some of them, based upon the hauling, if you look at the tonnage hauled, that's the sheet that Carrie just printed up. Stonewall, for example, you have this year, 2,964 tons of garbage came out of Stonewall
In 8 months?
No, 24.
in 2024. Yeah. Now, you compare that to some of the smaller sites like Benson, all year, only just a little under 75 tons came out of there. So, I mean, there's not very many trips, but you have these sites opened every day except Sunday. Now, the only site that we currently have that's open all the time, every single day, is Sloan Road. Sloan Road is open every week, every day, every week. So that one is, and I even broke down on these schedules. You can see hours. I gave it by the hour. You know, you have a working, like Sloan Road has 83 hours in the week that were open, you know, and the suggested on the alternate schedule too is, you know, if you change that to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, open all day Saturday and close Sunday, you're going to a 48-hour. So that's, you know, those are proposed.
Yeah, Sloan Road, that's only 31 tons a month.
Right.
Mansfield still have a city pickup?
Yes, but we take their garbage. They bring it out to us and we take that, and that's at no cost.
Well, I agree. I don't think there should be any site open on Sunday.
But, and just so y'all will be aware to be thinking about this in the back of your mind, because you're gonna get calls about this. The vacation schedule that has been, the holiday schedule that's been approved by the jury already, has us closed for 3 days on Christmas. We're closed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm gonna be giving you guys a proposal probably in October, November, to open the compactor sites and the landfill on that Friday. Now, that's gonna come with holiday pay, but you close this parish down for 3 days with no compactor sites, I think you're gonna probably have a revolution on
It's
that.
about like closing the banks down for 3 days.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, so, that's a pretty
I personally
isolated
don't
event.
understand why we're closing Friday anyway. It's Christmas Eve, right?
No, Friday is the day after Christmas.
That's
I
what I'm
believe.
saying. Christmas Eve is Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Christmas is Thursday. What's the reason for closing on?
Because y'all adopted a policy.
I
The ju-
understand
the
we
jury-
adopted
yeah,
it.
yeah, I
I
mean-
didn't vote for it.
Right.
Because I don't understand why a person can't come to work on Friday after the holiday. You know?
It's just gonna be a proposal to, I mean, and I'll probably get shot from some employees for doing that,
when
but,
we-
you know,
Think about it, every time we turn around, we're giving another holiday for some unknown reason.
yeah.
You know, what's wrong with coming to work Friday? They say they can't get anything done because it's just one day. One day back, first day back. Well, I guess every Monday. We might as well start shutting down every Monday because they've been off 2 days. They can't get anything done on Monday, you know, because they've been off 2 days.
Then it'll be Tuesday.
Yeah, well, it's just-
Well, I mean, reality is that Friday is gonna be extremely difficult for you as the jurors who are gonna get the calls from the constituents. But I'm gonna that's why I'm gonna bring that to y'all at another time, but I want y'all to be aware of that. But tonight is to discuss, I mean, if y'all wanna, we can do individual, you know, I mean, and now Mr. Baker's gonna have a compactor site soon in Stonewall, which, I mean, I hope he's gonna be pleased with it, but, you know, I think he's the only one who hasn't had a compactor, I don't know, how long has it been, Greg?
As long as I've been here.
Yeah. So he's
I've never-
graciously
I've never
taken that
had one
on.
before.
You don't have one anymore?
Nope.
Well, is there anything that we can agree on right now to bring up, to discuss, that we all would agree on? I mean, the
Well,
Sunday
tonight, you
stuff?
can't take any action, but you
Yeah,
can
I
give
know.
us direction.
Well,
Say,
I'm just saying, I would think that would be a real easy one to check the box on, is just nothing open on Sunday.
I think that's a beginning, is to get all the hours the same. Every compactor site should be the same.
It's just not fair to keep some of these sites open, than some of the larger sites. Just think about the quantity of work that these individuals have to do to bring in that 3,000 tons a year. And then you look at another site that's bringing in 220 tons a year, same number of people. That's just not fair to the taxpayer. That's just a waste.
And one like Sloan Road, that you said it brings in the least amount?
No, it brings in a reduced amount, but it's like 300 tons a year.
Yeah.
But they're open, they have
They're
more
open
hours.
all day long,
All day long, every day.
every day of the week,
All day long.
you know?
And I don't know where that came from,
Like
I'll
we've
be
got
honest with y'all.
Longstreet that, is got just certain hours. They're open a few hours in the morning, then they're open again in the afternoon.
Right, you have some of them that have a big gap in the middle,
You
and
know,
that's,
they bring in
mine,
more
right?
tonnage than Sloan Road. Why is Sloan Road, why are we paying 80 hours, manpower hours, for that site to be open all the
Everybody
time?
used to-
Yeah, Longstreet's 15 tons a month.
It's busy.
One of my area, it closes at, I think they open at 7. I think they close around,
6 to 7.
uh,
oh, you know, yours opens at 6 in the morning.
yeah, 6 in the morning.
Yeah, 6 to, it opens
they-
like
they
6 to
close
10:30 and it
6
closes at lunchtime.
Right, they open again at 2 o'clock, I think.
Right, some of them, they have crazy schedules. Some of these, from what I've been told, now this is hearsay, also known as street committee talk, but things that I've been told is the reason they're closed sometimes 4 hours in the middle of the day is because they couldn't find a compactor site operator. Well, I mean, that's years ago. I don't know if you still have that problem. I'd have to talk to, Kevin Henderson, the assistant over the collection sites, about that, but I don't know if that's gonna be really that big an issue.
That's no mine, that 4-hour gap is no problem.
Right, so,
Problem.
It don't seem
Once
to
they
be a
get-
problem in
Yeah,
Longstreet.
once they
Everybody
get
knows
used to
it's
it,
closed.
right, once they get used to the
They go in
schedule,
the morning, they get their trash there before 10 o'clock.
Right.
Or 10:30, whatever time it closes.
they're good,
And they
man.
know if they miss that 10:30, then
They can go it too.
they gotta go back in the afternoon.
Right.
That's correct. And,
They'll adapt,
it's just like anything else. When you get used to the hours,
yeah.
then you're going to
As
take
Melissa,
advantage of
as
that.
Melissa Lafitte, whom you most of you know and remember, she said this, told me this. She goes, "We've had this issue. We've struggled with this issue in the past. Constituents will complain for a little while, but then they get used to the new schedule." And I'm like, I understand that's easy to say, but it's the jurors who are going to get the calls about this from their
No, you
constituents.
just like
post it,
another
you
store.
post it on the signage and put it out there, and I mean, if we're trying to save money and put it out in other places, then,
Well, at this point, it's about offsetting lost revenue. You're gonna lose.
Yeah, we're losing the 400,000 almost,
Yeah.
no matter what we do.
okay.
Got a gap to fill.
So,
But man, it's like a store, store open, you go in, people get used to it when the store is open. They get used to it when it's closing.
Yeah.
And you make your arrangements accordingly. So they'll do that, they'll adapt.
So I'll propose, if y'all want me to, I'll draft a couple, maybe 3 different schedules that y'all can formally adopt at a meeting to be used next year. Do y'all want me to do that? And I can say, one of them we'll close all of them on Sunday and keep it Monday through Friday, or Monday through Saturday. Or I can, based upon the tonnages, if it's below, say, if they're reporting less than 200 tons a year, they can be on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. I mean, what do you think, Greg? You've been solid waste chairperson. I mean, that's,
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, correct?
yeah, correct. When I say Monday, Wednesday, we're assuming we're all gonna be open on Saturdays, the compact, because that's where most people go.
Off work, yeah.
So I'm assuming every site is gonna be open on Saturday. So let me just put that out there. Even though Monday landfill is closed at noon on Saturday, and most of your generating of garbage on a Saturday occurs on that Saturday. I mean, that's when most of it is, and those are pains that we're certainly having with the growth that we've had in the north end of the parish and in some of the other parts of the parish. But if I propose a couple schedules that close Sunday, but leave it open all the other days, or I can just do Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the ones that are less than a certain tonnage. I mean, what do y'all think? I'll make the proposal to y'all.
I
When
think
is
that's
it?
great.
Is
Another
there,
proposal and do another workshop?
No, bring it to the jury there.
is there 2 sites open on Sunday, but they're closed on Monday?
Logansport's one of them.
Yeah, Grand Cane, I believe in Logansport, is that right?
We're busy.
Yeah, Logansport's closed on Monday and Grand Cane is closed on Monday, correct. but they're open on Sunday.
That's the only two,
Yes, sir.
is that the only two that is open on Sunday?
Yes, sir. No.
No, South
No,
Mansfield.
I'm
and-
open.
Sloan
And
Road.
Sloan Road and
Road.
South
I'm
Mansfield.
open.
Sloan Road is open on Sunday, and there's one here in Mansfield too, I think.
South Mansfield, that's
I'm
correct.
open on Sunday.
I didn't recall that. But
See the big ones.
The big
Yeah.
ones.
Well, Sloan's not big.
No,
Logansport and
no,
South
Sloan,
Mansfield.
Sloan Road is not.
Logansport, Grand Canyon, and Stonewall are all closed Monday.
Stonewall's not closed Monday.
Stonewall's not closed Monday.
Almost is closed Sunday.
The only two that are closed on Monday are Grand Cane and Logansport.
I think the reason why Stonewall's closed on Sunday is because the landfill's closed on Sunday because we have to make 2 trips to the landfill almost every day.
Yeah.
It's because Stonewall was right down from a Baptist church,
It's right
so
there in
we
town,
never
Baptist
opened it on
Oh,
Sunday.
gosh.
That's the truth.
That's true, yeah, I believe
And
that.
far as I'm concerned, it ain't ever gonna be open on Sunday. As long as I'm here, because I ain't gonna be here that much longer, but it ain't gonna be open on Sunday.
Well, when we open the new compactor site, they're gonna have more dumpsters anyway, so that'll alleviate a lot of that. A lot of that'll be alleviated. I think we need to make a proposal or bring it to the jury that all of them have the same hours, everything's closed on Sunday, and,
Don't bring too many, just 3.
yeah.
So based on your hauling, I would say probably everything less than 300 would be your target. If you want to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we can do everything less than 200, if you want me to do that. Because right now, you know, you have Hurd Road, Hunter Road, Long Street, Oxford, Pelican are the ones that are less than 200, this, as of this last year. So, and without going out there and putting a counter on every site, which we only have 2 counters, to really know when the peak time is, that would be my recommendation. If you're gonna do a unified schedule, just for those would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
All day. So you got a gap in there.
And the same hours.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, no,
Yeah,
close on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, there's a gap in the time from
Like Long Street.
Yeah, the same time.
10:30 to 2:30.
Yeah, well, that would go away. The gap would be, it'd open at 7 in the morning, close at,
Yeah,
what do y'all
All of
think,
them
6 or 7 at night?
yeah.
I mean, things change we can even go a step further with that with a time change if we wanna,
Yeah, aren't we
like
doing
the
something-
summertime, I'm sorry?
Aren't we doing something with the time change? Aren't closing early? Due to
No, the road department only, they shift, they change right now due to the time change, or due to the, it's not the time change, it's the season of the year, right.
Well, I went and visited with the personnel at my 2 dumps, and they're all good with closing at 6 because of just lack of traffic. Closing at 6 in the evening.
What do you think, Arnell?
Yeah.
So 7 to 6?
I think that's a good hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the hour, 7 to 6. No closing at 10:30, opening at 1:30, or opening at 2:30, so 7 to 6. Okay. Whether it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday
through Saturday.
through Saturday.
I don't
Monday,
know, that
Wednesday, Friday,
Stonewall,
Saturday.
that Stonewall dump, a lot of people work those 9 to 5 Monday through Friday jobs.
They'll be
So
hitting it up on
they're they're
Saturday.
getting home at,
They're gonna hit it up on
just for me in particular, trying to rush home, get kids to practice.
I mean, seven
Dump by
7
6
to
o'clock
7, we can do 7 to 7 at the really busy ones, Stonewall, South
I
Mansfield,
think all
but
hours should be the same.
if y'all want it to be 7 to 7, all of them, I can do that.
There won't be a need at my 2. I mean, I've discussed it at length.
All right.
It's pretty busy at Stonewall between 6 and 7.
I probably talked to 15 people
Like
that were
everything
coming
else,
in,
they'll get
and I
used to
asked
the
them,
hours.
that did come in right around the 6 o'clock time, and I said, would you have a problem if we shut this down at 6? And the guy looks at his phone and says, I'll adjust my schedule and come 10 minutes sooner. This is about when he comes every day, but I talked to 15, 16, 17 different people, and they were all in agreement there wasn't a need for it to be open after 6, or at least on the 2 that are in my district.
I believe all the Caddo sites, which is our neighbor up north, they close all theirs at 6 o'clock, so.
What do you think, Mr. Gregg? 6 or 7?
We're gonna hear from it either way.
You're gonna hear from them, but they'll get used to it, just like we got through saying a while ago. They're gonna,
To me,
Regulate their
we'll
schedule.
hear more of them not opening until 7. I believe it's a good bit of dump, even though it's 10 people from 6 to 7, is what he says. That's 10 people on their way to work.
But what is it on the 6 to 7, you know? It's pretty busy. Probably, it's way more than 10.
Hang on, I got that on my desk.
Dropping off before they go to work.
Well, getting to work, going to get to the trash and then
Okay,
dumping,
evening,
you know,
evening.
in the evening, yeah.
So you wanna put it later in the evening? Is that what you
Just to
said?
say, just
And then
close it.
also these people being out there a considerable amount of time after dark, here pretty soon,
Yeah,
daylight's gonna start
starts
dropping
getting
off, and
dark
we have women,
30.
we have women out there, and it's just, I just don't think it's a good thing.
My guy made a request that we could close down earlier on daylight saving time here.
Yeah.
Yep. When you get darker, quicker,
Yeah, it's just, I don't think it's right to ask women to stay out
better
there.
not get anybody to bring them in.
Here I am being mansplaining. I didn't mean to, do it that way, but I've talked to the ladies, and they would rather shut down before it's been dark for 2.5
Yeah, my guy would too.
Yeah.
It's consistently the
I
same,
got all
Bobby.
men in mind, I think.
6 to
so.
7 is consistent. In the evening, actually, it looks like I think we might be closed at 6 already at Stonewall.
No, it's 7.
Well, then our counter's off,
No, we
because
got
this
the-
doesn't register anybody after 6. It doesn't make any sense.
Was it 6?
No, I'm sorry. No, there are. It's the evening time, 3. There's 1 person there, there's 2 people there. So it's in the morning. Greg's right. It's the morning hours that are busier than the afternoon.
They're
I think a
dropping-
lot of
they're
that
dropping
has to
their
do with a
trash
lot of
out
people,
before they go to
when they
work.
come home, that intersection is so congested.
It is.
People do not
It
want to
really
fool with
is.
going to the compactor
Very.
site in the afternoon. Now, at 6 to 7 in the morning, I can speak, because I drive by there most times like 5:30 or 5 o'clock, but when I drive by at 6,
going to
there's,
work.
there's not that many people, and there's just not there, but the intersection's not busy either, you know?
So what is it? What are the numbers?
Okay, so, what day was this?
We're gonna watch the
This was 8/9, which is, I'm gonna give you the,
Because all I hear is when the dump open and when we get in the grocery store. That's all I hear.
You poor baby.
Is the dump open?
Is the dump open today? Yeah,
yeah, but I hear that,
all I hear.
you're right.
When's the grocery store
all
coming?
I can say, if they don't know when the dump is open, Natalie hasn't been going to the dump.
Well, I think it's because we have
Or
too
don't
many
really
hol-
give a rat's ass, they just making conversation.
See,
I think it's because we have too many holidays. We got too many holidays. It's always closed.
So
do have
Friday
too many
Friday mornings are from 6 to 7, you have 17 people. In the evening, you have 2. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, sounds like Greg's right about that.
I don't go there that early.
That's nothing new, is it, Greg?
But, I think, you really gotta think about this. That new compactor site, that's gonna have a big effect on what time people go up there also, because they're not having to worry about that traffic. That traffic's gonna change a lot of stuff. So,
Okay,
Yippee, yippee.
all the same for me then.
Well, if you're gonna change the hours at the Stonewall site, I would change the hours when you change this location.
yeah, I would say the proposal needs to be, the new hours will be adopted in accordance whenever that new site opens. But, I mean, the
That's-
jury can take that action.
Well, we can blame it on moving it. Hey, we moved it, so we changed the hours.
So what hours gonna
Have
be
some
now?
blame it on that.
What hours gonna be
He's
again?
gonna come up with 3 alternates.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah,
like.
I'll give you like 2 or 3 alternates,
That'll go good.
and,
Not too many.
put that,
No more than 3.
Probably have
oh,
three
it'd probably be,
different-
honestly, it's gonna probably be 2. Rob.
Okay,
Bring me
good.
one good one.
I'm gonna give you one at, Monday through Saturday, and then I'm gonna give you Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday for the ones that are less than 300, or less than 200.
That's
So,
quite a few of them.
Good.
I have,
yes, sir.
Can we have motion to adjourn?
and I run into this and other things, even though there are some of these sites that because of the way we figure the money, it looks like it costs us a gosh awful lot. But all citizens are deserving of the same privileges of all other citizens. So they're all entitled to the same convenience, I don't believe I'm saying that, as all other citizens. So just because one site only has 74 tons, there's 4 or 5 people that we're giving the convenience to. And if we close the site, well, now those group of people, just like we talking about where you gotta go to vote, they gotta travel further to dump the trash. So I would think we already do a real good job about being as fair as we can be with the number of compactor sites. Because everybody's entitled to the same benefit. Just don't let the low price or the high price of what it costs us, because it really, to me, it doesn't cost us that to do the trash. It's just a number we gotta throw on it. You know, like, what was it? What was the stupid number I saw? Sorry, Mike, I call your numbers stupid.
That's okay, Greg.
But, I don't know, I saw some of them somewhere.
Yeah, 489.63 per ton at Benson for 24.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
you just paying a guy to sit there all day on his butt, that's your expense. I sometimes wonder, why do we even have to keep them manned? Some of these compactor sites even manned. You know, why don't we just pay somebody to come unlock the gate and then lock the gate back up? Or somebody just to come there the last hour to clean up a mess that might be there. But why do these sites have to be manned all day?
Didn't we have an issue with that?
People coming from
Sometime back.
Texas.
Yeah, with Texas, but it seemed like there was something, a fire or something. That's why we had those guys to go out and watch what they're dumping.
Yeah. Well,
Because,
you know, it's a risk versus
Right.
reward type thing, you know,
Right.
how far you want to chance it, but, you know,
But,
Some of these
the batteries,
sites, though-
dump batteries and things in it, you know.
somebody's not, you know, you take the side at Benson, there's probably not a person, but one person a day that might come in there. 2 people a day,
Yeah.
1, 2.
You're one of them.
And more than likely, you know who the person is. Why does somebody else have to be there? You know, you can put cameras up. Cameras are cheaper than employee. But you still have to have somebody that goes and locks and unlocks and looks at the site when he locks it to make sure that there ain't a fire brewing in a dumpster, you know. There's a few other things, but I am not for closing any sites.
Oh, yeah, no, sir, you talking about closing days? We're not, this is
No,
not.
no, no, I mean, some of these sites you can look at, we ought to just close.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
I don't,
You
I don't
know,
agree with that either.
But we don't
that's-
need to be even thinking about that.
No.
I don't mind changing the hours some one way or the other. If it gets to be too big of a problem, hey, 6 votes and we can change it back.
Okay.
No, when I was in, my
I'll
daddy
have a
visited out
proposal for y'all
constantly.
in
How
October
good
to be
things are.
adopted in accordance, sometime in 26.
Come home with a whole
All
bunch of
right.
junk.
Any more discussion?
I got one thing.
All right, one more.
I just want to throw this out there and see what you guys think.
I'm gonna throw it back.
So I know some of these compactor sites, we have the people that work there, they go and they push the button twice a day. And then we got people in South Mansfield, Logansport, Stonewall that are working all day at the compactor site, back and forth, calling the landfill, talking to people that dumping trash, moving the stuff with the stick. They're moving, they're working. While we have other people that are just sitting and watching the compactor site or watching TV, sitting in the shed in the air conditioner. Should they be paid the same amount as the people that work hard every day in and out of that man shed?
Man, I don't.
They
know if
doing
we wanna
this, are
separate
they
that or
doing the
not.
same job?
I don't know if we wanna separate that or not, man. I mean,
That's-
Well, the challenge is,
That
that, I
just-
mean, you have to prove, I mean,
yeah,
there, you can prove some of that, but you gotta be careful. You could
Yeah,
you could
Well,
target
we
him.
Shut down some of the days.
Yeah,
yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but
I ran into a site close to my house. Not the one you're thinking about, another one. And I had a whole bunch of metal, and I took the time for a load of my truck. I mean, I had it separated in my truck, the metal to go in the metal bin, and all my other trash that goes, big trash that, you know. I really think we need to get rid of open tops, period. I'd love just to eliminate them, because as far as I'm concerned, everything can go in the dumpster, in the compactor. Tree limbs, everything, as far as I'm concerned, can go in the compactor. Why do we have these big open tops? But anyway, the story was I pulled to the little guard shack. Which one of them dumpsters for metal? Oh, I ain't got a metal dumpster. You can throw it in whatever one you want.
Oh, Lord.
And I kind of looked at him. I should have told him, I said, would you please go out there and look at that sign? And find my name on that sign, and you're telling me there's no metal dumpster. You know, I don't understand, you know, but really, and truly, if you think about it, 99% of the stuff that goes in an open top container can go in the compactor. Why the compactor is not used more, I don't know. Somebody who is running that dump site has got to teach the constituents where to put the garbage. Because some of them will come in there with a big limb. So while they throw the big limb in the open top, they want to throw the garbage in the open top because they're too lazy to come back to the compactor. So really and truly, get rid of the open tops. I'd have one small open top, low one, for metal, and I'd get rid of the rest of the open tops. I don't think you need them.
Well, I have some.
If they got trash, if they got tree limbs, they can make a pile in the lot and we'll come pick it up.
I had a similar problem, but they told me I couldn't take metal at all.
That's gonna be a
So-
hot
They didn't
mess.
take it at all.
Wouldn't let me dump it at all.
That's gonna be, you ain't gonna be able to get in there if they do it.
So I rented a dumpster.
Well, see, really and
But we-
truly, I would like to say we do not take metal. Why do we do it? That metal has been a headache for this jury
Yeah.
ever since we took the first piece of metal. We shouldn't even take it. Caddo don't take it.
Well, we
Come
can
in
put
there with a
that,
piece of metal and Caddo.
we can put that in the, we're here to discuss it.
Now you're really wanting the phone to ring.
Hey,
I can say that real quick. I'll vote for that today. No metal and compact.
Yeah, but you're getting out. You just said you ain't gonna be here much longer.
If I won't stir the pot, I might as well.
Yeah. For a long time, we had a big conflict about who was getting the metal, right?
Yeah.
Who was selling the metal? Well, this
Yeah.
guy getting
Whose
they
metal
getting-
is it?
Well, who was? Well, we know.
Get out of the business.
Or maybe you just do it certain days of the year, like
I'm
we do
in
the
favor of
batteries
that.
and tires and everything else.
that creates a lot of headache, you're right.
Yeah.
you wanna
But
add
again,
that to it?
you guys will get the calls about, you know, why can't I dump my metal?
I don't know.
We don't take it. Take it to the scrapyard.
Well, that still falls under that convenience. People are doing it because it's convenient, like Greg was talking about.
Tell them pile it up, man. You take the scrap bill and get paid for it.
Yeah, Brother Richard tell you, man, we're getting robbed on scrap metal.
Well, yeah. Well, that's Mr. Burrell's biggest.
We can
pet
certainly
peeve, too.
add it to it.
Scrap metal
The
is
way we're taking metal.
Would y'all like for me to put
$7
that?
a hundred.
Yeah.
For scrap metal.
$7 a hundred.
$7 a hundred.
We'll vote on
7
it.
cents a pound.
All right, any more discussion? Anybody want to talk about something else we don't take?
Lord, I hope not.
Huh?
I so move.
Sorry?
I say I so move.
I
We're
second.
adjourned.
All right,
That's it.
have a second.
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Thank you for y'all's work tonight. And
All right, got out here
We
before
are
7
adjourned.
o'clock.
dinner's on Donald, by the way.